What's going on, guys? It's your boy Burroaks77 coming to you live with McAfee on Box to Box, hosted by Gold Boys. Check out goldboys.com. We're both over in the Discord giving out picks. Sponsored by Pickett. Pickett, great way to track your bets. Um, Price shop, all that stuff. Our guy Brian is over there. He's been hosting some great spotlights in Twitter Spaces recently, so check them out for any additional content needs. And then Boom Fantasy. Boom is a DFS place that lets you get involved with player prop over unders. It's really nice because their DFS thing lets you get involved in states that might not be legal for gambling, like California, Texas, Florida, stuff like that. Since they're a DFS app, they definitely let you get involved. So shout out to all our sponsors. Thanks for having us. Let's talk about some results yesterday real quick before we jump into the weekend slate. We had some fun games. Roma advanced past Feyenoord. They got a second goal there late. It was nice to see, and then they kind of shellacked them there in extra time. Oh shit, Union USG did end up scoring a goal, so I clean swept my card yesterday on 5 for 5. Leverkusen absolutely shellacked them 4-1, so that's nice to see. Good for Leverkusen. Sevilla absolutely stuck it to United like I thought they would. It's awesome to see Spanish football in Europe still absolutely dominating. United washed them out 6 years in a row to a Spanish team over in Europa League. So La Liga, baby, that's what we do. Juve ends up advancing in a tie game with Sporting. That was that's nice. Juve, big story there. They're getting their 15 points back. They jumped up to third in the Serie A table. So that's going to make Italy very, very interesting. Always fun to see. And then the last one that I think is worth talking about is West Ham put on a show versus Ghent. That was nice to see. West Ham riding high, trying to get themselves out of the relegation zone after that draw with Arsenal. So it was I think 4 goals in a game is the most West Ham's put up this season. So they're cooking right now. That'll be interesting coming into the weekend. We'll see if they're fit, firing, and staying strong, or if they have a little bit of a fall off from playing another midweek game here, since their schedule is starting to get a little congested. We do have some games going on today. It's a little early to talk about them without lineups. So we'll just kind of jump right over into the weekend slate. We're going to start over in England with a game that I think's got a lot of goals in it, in Fulham versus Leeds. Fulham is still without Mitrovic. He's suspended on that, I don't know, bullshit ref stuff. Leeds has been getting absolutely waxed lately, but they still managed to find a goal. Solanastra had a nice one for them in that shellacking they took from Liverpool. I don't think Fulham's going to be able to run up 6 on them like Crystal Palace and Poole did, but I do think there's goals in this game. Leeds always kind of find a way to find one. I'm really liking both teams to score, sitting right around -130. Both teams to score over 2.5 is +125.
Well, I know Fulham got some goals from midfield last time out. Am I frozen?
No, you're good.
Okay, good. I saw it froze for a hot second. But I know they got some goals from midfield with Wilson and Reed. Paulinho, Pereira, these guys can also provide them. So, Mitro being out, he kind of funneled up most of their goals for most of the season. But, guys chipping in elsewhere, I think, like you said, both teams' score is probably good. Leeds can't stop anybody right now. So, yeah, I think especially at the Cottage, they'll get one. And, yeah, Leeds will just make it a fun attacking game. A lot of American players in this match as well, with Ream and Robinson, McKinney. Adams not going to be back. But so, yeah, if you're a U.S. men's national team fan, fun game to watch for you, to see a lot of the guys out there playing. It's not necessarily anything I'm like excited to bet necessarily, especially wake up at 7:30 to watch it and sweat a bet. But I right now, I mean, I'll shop around like Rodrigo shots on target, things like that, like Pierre shots on target. I think those potentially have nice looks. I think they'll start. So, yeah, I mean, the Leeds wingers are interesting. The Fulham wingers are interesting too. I just don't know who's going to be playing. Um, we had a nice little run there with Wilfred Ignoto. He had a couple really good games. Solomon had a great run there for Fulham for a few games. Like somebody like that's going to pop up and probably do something cool. But yeah, I guess just wait to see those lineups before you lock in any player props.
For sure, yeah. I hope Aronson plays. I want to keep seeing him do well.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got Brentford hosting Aston Villa. Villa's absolutely cooking right now. They're playing great football. Ollie Watkins might be the hottest striker in the Premier League right now. Absolutely love that I'm getting him above plus 200 on the road here versus a Brentford team who can't find the back of the net. Brentford, I believed in you last week. You let me down. Couldn't even get a goal. Bees are no longer buzzing. Villa's been cooking for a couple of months. I've been on the Villa train really heavily. I really like what's going over there. Unai Emery being a great manager. I just really like what this Villa team's doing. For me, the smart play is probably draw no bet at plus 100. I always like getting the draw no bet at plus money. But Villa on the road, I like them. I'm probably going to sprinkle their money line at plus 180. If you guys think Brentford get a goal here, which they can, I mean, they have Ivan Toney. I think he's the third or fourth leading goal scorer in the Premier League. He's magnificent from the spot. We've seen him miss his first penalty of his career this year. He got another one, immediately buried it. I don't see that happening very often to Toney. Like I said, he's only missed one in his career. And Villa do have some hacks on the back line. They haven't given up too many penalties, but they've looked solid back there. But you gotta remember, Tyrone Mings exists, and he's been playing great football, but he's known to do a boneheaded thing or two. So if you like both teams to score, that's right around minus 130. A little too juicy for me with Brentford's inconsistency. If I'm going to take it, I'm going to pair it with the over 2.5 to get plus 125 on it. But I do like Villa here, and I'm going to be betting Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, I mean, so Aston Villa beat them 4-0 at Villa Park and back in the first leg. This obviously goes to London for the second leg here. So I think Brentford's home form will give them a little bit of a better chance. That's why we see the odds. Villa being on a crazy rip here. I think it's 5 wins in a row. You mentioned Watkins as a goal scorer. If his price is over 200, yep, go ahead and lock that in. Find a book that voids non-starters. But to me, I think the chalk play of a Watkins and a Ivan Toney anytime goal scorer parlay would make sense. I'm almost certain people will be on that as well. Yeah, Brentford at home, I don't mind backing. I like them less on the road. They have over the
They
last
played better on the road this season than they did at
yeah,
home.
they've had some decent results on the road, but I still prefer to have a team like Brentford at home, even though the results may not necessarily play out that much. I think there's some variance to that, especially if you look at their home form last year. A lot of this team is the same team, same manager, same for the most part starting 11. So, I'll look at a little bit of a wider view on that. Villa, yeah, under Emery, they've been cooking like you mentioned. They could push here for a Champions League spot if they keep winning. It's pretty impressive. He's a very good coach. Villa's a good club at his level. I don't think his tactics necessarily work at the biggest of clubs, but when he's got a lot of guys that can buy in at that like upper middle tier clubs, like or lower level big clubs, it's just that sweet spot for him. And yeah, I think both teams score. Did you mention that as a look? Like,
Yeah, I said if
yeah.
you like Brentford. So
Mhm.
here's my problem. Brentford have scored 1 goal in their last 3 games. Brentford has 1 win in their last 7 games. Villa's scoring goals at an insane clip, and they have they have 1 draw in their last 8 games. They have not lost a game in 8. So yeah, give me Villa all day.
Yeah, I think Brentford. You have to kind of look at their a little bit of their. Um, the, I'm with you though. I do see what you're saying. I think I wouldn't be shocked if Villa get a win here. But yeah, I like the Watkins look. I like the Tony look. I might play them both, assuming they're both in. Might even throw a little flutter on a parlay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Um, this one I don't have a betting angle on, but we kind of got to talk about it just because it's a relegation battle. Crystal Palace is
Mhm.
hosting Everton. Crystal Palace has been on a nice little rip. They've won 3 in a row. Everton sucks out loud. They've gotten 2 draws and 2 losses in their last 4. They did manage to beat Brentford 1-0, but that was back at the beginning of March. So that's 1 win in their last 9 games. So going on the road to Palace here, a Palace team that's cooking and scoring goals. They got some nice confidence up after absolutely shellacking Leeds 5-1. I like Palace at home here, but I don't even know the price. But
Plus
I figure we do.
110 here on FanDuel. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny. Roy Hodgson comes in. It's like taking a step back to take a step forward for Palace here. Like the guy's been around forever. It's hard to not like Roy. I, I mean, his team has been playing pretty free and attacking lately, which, the reason he always gets sacked after a while is because his teams can't score goals and they run out of ideas. So I don't know what's different other than the fact that uh, maybe a couple of the guys have found form, especially Elise as a creator of goals. He's really driving the team forward. Etse in midfield is in really good form too. I think those 2 guys would be your targets for player props. Everton on the other end, like you said, tough team to want to invest in at this point.
yeah, they
Um,
just lost a friendly to a Division 3 team.
yeah, that's not always good, a good omen here. But I look at it. They did get that tough draw with Spurs. There is some fight here. They drew with
That
Chelsea.
tough draw with Spurs, my fat ass. Come on,
Well,
it's the
I mean,
fucking Spurs, dude. They bottled
yeah, I
that
mean,
game. They
it's still
intentionally bottled that game.
the I I'll give them credit for a point with Spurs and a point with Chelsea. I think for Everton especially, those were good points. Uh, but yeah, the Fulham loss was ugly. United loss, I don't really give them too much. There, any points for them is a good point here. I think a defensive approach is probably the way they go. Until recently, I would have said unders all day, every day. Palace have sort of exploded a little bit, but if Palace win this thing 1-0 or 2-0, I wouldn't be surprised. So the unders still kind of would be in play. But yeah, you mentioned, you can grab Palace at plus money here. I think that's a decent look. Under 2.5 is about minus 160, so that's less of a good look. You would need probably a dance partner with that. So uh, yeah, I don't hate taking a shot at Palace here. If you want a goal scorer or an assist or anything like that. Zaha, I think, is back in the team for this match. Again, wait to see the lineups if you're going to play on
I
a
would
book.
I would say you gotta ride with Easy because he's on fire right now.
Yeah, I mean his form is has been really really good. I was going to mention him too. Zaha just because he's plays closer to goal will take the penalties. His price is around 2 to 1. I think Etze is like plus 400, plus 430. So obviously you get twice the value here, but he's playing in a deeper role. So yeah, I mean, those would be my main targets and assist play. Elise is right now. I'm looking at plus 300. I don't hate that. I think he could definitely set up one of these guys to score, which he has done well here. Like I said, since Hodgson has come in, they all have found a little bit of extra form. So I think they'll be safe. I think if they win this, they'll be even on points with Chelsea, which is pretty wild to think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Chelsea scored 1 goal in like their last 5 games.
Well, you
I
did just
guess
when you
that's
consider
wild to
the
think, but I've watched a lot of Chelsea since Madrid just shellacked them twice. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Chelsea doesn't impress me like at all. I've
well,
been kind
just
of
the
saying that.
wages. I mean, of the players and the
Yeah,
discrepancy in the cost to put these two squads together. It's pretty. Uh, it's wild that they would be equal on points this late in the season, but.
yeah, Chelsea definitely having the worst season they've had in a long, long time.
Mhm.
Um, Next up, this one I actually think will be a pretty good game. Newcastle is hosting Tottenham. Tottenham are ass. I'll say it all the time. They fucking suck. This team needs to be new manager. Couldn't get a new manager bounce back win versus Everton. The players, they're out there playing, but they don't seem super motivated. Whereas Newcastle's fighting for a UCL position. They're at home. They got one of the best defenses in the EPL. They're also scoring goals at a nice clip right now. Give me Newcastle on the money line all day at minus 115.
Yeah, I think this is another one that says unders to me. Newcastle, until very recently, their defense had looked pretty watertight. Best defense in the Premier League. Now, Spurs do have some really good attacking players, obviously. Always a threat to dive for a penalty or score a great goal. Uh, I don't know. I mean, Spurs have had Newcastle's number like through the years. Obviously, things have changed with Newcastle having all this new money and bringing in a lot of guys. But yeah, I don't, that Villa where Villa just ripped them apart. Like I can't get that out of my head. And as good as Kane and Son and company are, like they're better than any players at Aston Villa. So
Newcastle won this 2-1 on the road. Tottenham, like I said, have
hmm,
looked like ass. I get what you're saying. Like
yeah,
Villa did play a really nice game at home. That was Newcastle's first off day in a minute. That's their first loss in 7 game. One,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they are 5-0-1 in their last 6.
Mhm.
I know ASM got hurt again too, but Newcastle is
Yeah.
a way better team, and they're at home, and you're getting them minus 115. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so in the table, let's see what that means for this. So this is the kind of the battle for fourth here. Uh, Villa are on their heels a little bit. They could catch them. Brighton are right behind there, sort of Liverpool sneaking around. Liverpool we skipped that game, but they should be able to smash Forest. You
Yeah,
would
we skipped that game because they're minus 600 on the money
right.
line, and all of
Yeah,
their player props are negative.
yeah. It'll be tough to extract value out of that, but I'm sure there'll be ways to attack it. But yeah, I mean, a 3 points here would be huge for Newcastle because they have a game in hand on Spurs. I do think that is yeah, that may play into it a little bit where they know a draw is really good. Avoiding a defeat is the primary focus here, I would think, for for Eddie Howe. Because that'll move you to 4 points of the gap, and you'll have a game in hand, which is pretty huge. So avoiding defeat, to me, it seems like the unders might be the play. You mentioned ASM being out. Kind of a polarizing player, but on his day, he can unlock a defense and do something pretty magical. So, and who knows? Maybe we see Trippier do something sweet against his old club. Curl in a free kick or something. I don't know. I just can't get unders out of my head. Under 2.5 is plus 100. To me, that's the play.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. We'll talk a little FA Cup real quick. We got Brighton playing Man U. Man U just got fucking embarrassed by Sevilla. Absolutely de-pantsed in front of the whole fucking classroom. You got shellacked 3-0 in Spain after coughing up 2 own goals at your crib. That's embarrassing. You should want to come out here and beat the absolute shit out of Brighton. I don't know if you can do it, though. I will tell you, I kind of like Man U on the money line at plus 180-ish. That said, I also kind of like Brighton on the money line around plus 145. I think it'll be an interesting match. FA Cup is, they're getting down to the nitty gritty here. So these guys do care. I think Man U is going to have to come out and make a statement here. This is the only trophy that they can win this season. So they better go out and do it. Give me Man U on a draw no bet right around even money.
Yeah, I do think that it'll be Manchester Derby in the final. You could take any sort of City prop that you want. If you want to pair it with a United something or another to get some extra, and their City will have their way with Sheffield. I'll probably ladder City.
Yeah, isn't it like minus 1,200?
Minus 950 now, but I think the way to attack the Man City look, and again to pair it with stuff like if you want to pair it with United things, which I don't necessarily like parlaying one day to the next day and things like that. I like my bets to settle after that specific match for the most part. It's just my style. But yeah, City, I think first half goals would be the way to attack that game. I'll definitely I'll ladder their first half goals. That'll be something I lock in. I'm comfortable doing regardless of who's playing because Sheffield they're going to come up. They'll be in the Premier League next year. They've got a nice team, but they are there's a huge gap between them and City. So, and they'll show it. I think Brighton, I think, are tough and plucky, but yeah, United, they'll be a little bit humbled. I think having Bruno will be in this one, and then I'm assuming Rashford will be ready to start. He wasn't able to start against Sevilla because I don't know. To me, if you're fit enough for the bench, you're fit enough to start. But maybe that's misguided. I just think United are going through a lot injury wise, especially in that back line. You're seeing Martinez went out. You saw Varane go out. So now it's Lindelof and Harry Maguire, who were the center halves last year and the year before, and they're just not great. Like they're average players, and I think that they get exposed at some higher levels. I think De Gea is still a very good keeper, but he's definitely past his prime. He's on the back nine, I think. Because he had no command of his box against Sevilla. There was multiple times where the ball is just kind of bouncing around, and you mentioned in the previous one the couple own goals he couldn't really do a lot about. But it's just a comedy of errors, and we'll see what Ten Hag can do. I like to give a manager some sort of a break when he's got so many players getting injured, like he has had. It's tough. Their squad needs a full remake anyway, like we know. But yeah, I just look at a lot of stuff and I'm like, okay, Casemiro was a hit. Varane, he got let go from Madrid because he couldn't stay healthy, and now here we're at a part where he can't stay healthy, and he had to retire from France because he can't stay healthy, and like, uh, players, it's just there's so much chopping and changing in there. We'll see what they do this summer, but yeah, for me, a cup final, United they could draw a performance here. I think Rashford, if he starts, will be a play for a goal. I mean, it's right now it's about plus 170. As long as he's starting, I think he's got enough that you'd be confident firing on him. Outside of that, I don't have a lot of love for any of the other United player props. It's a crapshoot. I mean, Casemiro. I'll probably the rest of the way just kind of play his like goal and assist and parlayed with a card. It's just a fun look. Split a unit that way. I mean, you can usually get 20-1 or so on that, and I think they're going to need bigger performances from him down the stretch here, and he's a big game player. So a match like Brighton, I could see him getting on the score sheet through a set piece, like a header or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I kind of got for the FA Cup stuff, though. Man City first half ladder, and then probably a Rashford goal and the Brighton United.
Nice. We're gonna jump over to Spain. This game is actually happening this afternoon. We got Espanyol versus Cadiz in a little bit of a relegation battle. Espanyol at home. They have been scoring goals at a really nice clip. They haven't been getting results, but they're still finding the back of the net. They're playing Cadiz, who is only 2 points above them. With a win at home here, they slide out of relegation and jump Cadiz to get a little bit of safety. Cadiz, they put in a little surprise performance versus Betis. They got, obviously beat by Madrid, Sevilla. They aren't scoring goals at nearly as nice of a clip. I like Espanyol at plus 110 here at home. Get out of relegation, jump Cadiz, get a couple of points, get clear, stay up. Give me Espanyol plus 110.
Yeah, that probably makes sense. You look at the goal form in Espanyol matches, like there's always goals, and Cadiz matches they struggle to score, so they're under. So it's like, what's it gonna be? I think in that situation, you just back the better team at home here. Maybe even if you want to attack it.
Jose Lu or Brett White for a
Yeah,
goal.
I was gonna say, yeah, Jose Lu as a goal scorer, that might be you get a better price than the money line. Because I just don't see a lot of goals elsewhere in their team. Like, who's going to pop up and score for them? A defender perhaps from a set piece type of thing, but I think he'll be the funnel for the goals. And if they're going to win, they're going to need to score. So I think I like to play the striker in those types of situations. Their anytime goal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Next up, we got over in Spain, we got Valladolid taking on Girona. I like both of these teams a lot. I think they're playing good football. Valladolid had a goal fest the other day, and Kyle Larin didn't get on the sheet, which I was a little surprised about. I'm a big Larin guy. Shout out the Canadian national team. I like Tati Castellanos over there for Girona too, ex-NYCFC player. But yeah, I mean, Valladolid has gotten some nice results here. They beat Villarreal in Villarreal 2-1. They drew Mallorca 3-3. They got shit pumped by Madrid, but I mean, it's Madrid. So yeah, I mean, Girona's been getting some decent results too. They beat Elche, they drew Barca, they beat Espanyol, drew Rayo Vallecano, and both of these teams just really love scoring. So both teams to score over 2.5 at plus 120 is definitely a play for me. And like I said, I will probably back Laren and I will probably back Castellanos as
So
well.
Castellanos, I'm seeing is suspended for this match. So I don't know if that changes your handicap at all.
No, Girona's got like 4 or 5 guys that can score at a pretty decent clip.
Okay, yeah. So um, it's a game for me that I think there are other options that I'll probably invest in at that time. If it was a standalone game, um, yeah, like you mentioned, Laren is a good look. I mean, he was able to notch an assist, so maybe you just split a unit if you really want to bet this game on his goal and his assist. Um, that way, if he gets on the score sheet at all, you're cashing. So, but yeah, that's right in the thick of things. So I probably won't have anything on it.
All right, next up we got Sevilla taking on Villarreal. This one, I mean, we just saw Sevilla take apart Man U. Everybody, listen up. Sevilla in Europe is different. They're very, very good in Europe. In La Liga, they suck. They are on their third manager. They're sitting in 13th place, and they're only in 13th place by like 6 points out of relegation. I think it would be fucking hilarious if Sevilla got relegated to League Two and then they got an auto bid to Champions League for winning Europa. I think that would just be the most comical shit on the entire planet. I'm here for it. Villarreal, they do struggle a little bit on the road, but you got Chucky Wazy out there. We know what he's capable of. Give me Villarreal on the road plus 150.
Yeah, Sevilla. I mean, the Europa League is funny because like the big clubs don't really take it seriously unless it's their only path to Champions League. And Sevilla is that team that like can take it serious. And when Unai Emery was there, obviously was able to win it a bunch. They're a team that does take pride and really does put their best team out to try to win this competition. And I think that extra 10-15% of like, hey, we're playing our best 11. We want to win this. We are invested in winning this. It shows. United didn't care. They didn't put out their best team. That was also through a little bit of injury that they couldn't do it. We saw Sevilla try to put their best team out in the Champions League and got smacked around by Dortmund and Man City. I think that this tournament is kind of their level. I think that Villarreal are a better side. I do think that they could probably get something here. Sevilla's, like I mentioned, their eggs are going to be in that basket potentially, which I think they've got enough points that they're probably safe in the league. They still need to go out there and win a couple more. 40 points is that usually that cutoff line where you're safe. They're at 35 now. There's enough gap between that. They're 8 points between them and Valencia and Espanyol. They could get pulled into it, but to me, it's just like, hey, grab a point, a couple more points here the rest of the way, and you'll probably be safe. So yeah, Villarreal with a chance to push for the Champions League is the team to back. I think they got more on the line for them. So you mentioned Chukwueze. I think his props have always been good.
They're starting to be less good because
yeah,
because people are starting to finally notice after I've been yelling about him for 2 years.
Well, and also some of the Villarreal's best players have been out a little bit, so a little bit more of their attacks have been funneled through him. Now, Moreno being back, I think could be a great look to play his goal. Let me see if his goal, because I like him a lot better than Morales up top. Moreno plus 155 if he's starting. To me, that makes a lot of sense. El Nesri's been in good form. If he's starting for Sevilla, to me, that like double goal scorer makes sense. I always love a bet on Alex Baena. He's a player that I like his game. He's very aggressive, not afraid to shoot. If he's playing and his goal is around 3-1 or better, I might take a little flyer on that. But yeah, fun little game. Well, Ceslo has been a assist machine too. The former Spur player, he is setting up a ton of goals for this Villarreal side. So that's a sneaky assist play. Giovanni Lo Ceslo, if he's starting, his assist is sitting right now. Ooh, plus 700 on FanDuel.
Nice.
Juicy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely a nice little look. Next up, we got the biggest game in La Liga. Barca versus Atleti. It would be so kind of Atleti to take care of me and wax Barca here. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I can see, like, I want to buy into the Griezmann revenge narrative. The problem is Griezmann just had 2 goal contributions,
Mhm.
which typically means he's done for the month. Like, he came in, he showed up to work, and he's like, "All right, bet I'm taking the next 3 weeks off." So I want to back. I'm gonna back that revenge angle. Let's be honest. But I like Atleti on the double chance here. You can get them at -120. I really like the under 2.5
Yep.
here. Barca, they can't score goals. They're really good at defending, but they cannot score for shit. Atleti have been very good lately. They've been pretty watertight. They're not conceding very many. So yeah, give me Atleti on the double chance here. I could easily see this game coming and being a full 90 minutes plus stoppage time of 0-0 with I don't know, 163 cards in it.
Yeah, a lot of cards. You mentioned Barca, struggling to score. I think if they can get back Dembele and Pedri for the run-in, I think their form will switch, and you'll start to see them score goals again. I think that their contributions can't be underestimated enough. I think you pushing Gavi back a little bit deeper, I think is a better role for him. And to me, I like that balance of having if Busquets is going to be in the team and hold, having Frankie De Jong and Gavi in midfield or Pedri with him, I think that gives them the right balance. Right now, they've been playing a lot of, Sergi Roberto or Frank Kessie, or you pluck a guy who is not necessarily an attacking midfielder, and you just kind of throw him in. It blunts the attack, and right now, there's nobody that really scares you. Rafinha on his day is a really strong player, but he's very one-footed. Everybody knows he wants to cut in on the left. Kind of a one-trick pony in that sense. And Dembele being so good and is so fast. Rafinha's fast, but to me, I think you know how to stop him. I mean, stopping him is easier said than done, of course, but it's going to be a cut in. It's going to be a left-footed delivery or a shot towards the far post. It's very predictive. Dembele could take you either foot, either way. He's that wild card that really helped and was such a good compliment to Lewandowski, who right now is struggling because they can't get him good service. He's never been a guy that's like, hey, I'm going to carry the ball 30 yards, beat 2 guys off the dribble and score. No, he's a finisher. He needs service, and they're just not. They don't have enough good attacking players to provide him with that. And so once we see, the better Barcelona attacking players come in, I think that will help. Balde right now he's kind of ahead of. Why am I drawing a blank? He's been there forever on the left side. Spanish left back, been at Barca forever. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but Alba, thank you. Jordi Alba. I mean, his delivery from the left side was key for a lot of those Barcelona teams through the years that scored a lot of goals. I mean, him being more of a role player at this point, I think kind of hurts Koundé or Araujo if they're playing on the right side. They're great defending, but they don't get forward like a Dani Alves or one of these guys from the past. So I don't know. Chabi's going to take some time building this team. I think they're ahead of schedule. I think there's a lot to like about what they can do going forward. Winning the league this year is pretty big. I don't have any confidence in Atleti to go there and get a result. I think like a 0-0 would not shock me. Like you said, maybe a 1-0 Barcelona win where they just grind something out. But I know I talked a lot about the Barcelona team and them going forward, but I think they were another team that really got snake bitten by losing two of their best attacking players at a really key time in their season. And so, hey, if they can consolidate, get this win here, them at a minus 110 price, I don't love necessarily. I think the unders is a better look than just banking on them. But I don't know, a 1-0 Barcelona. What's that exact score? Plus 550. I don't hate that. Like, I think that could be yeah. Of course, you could be down and burn out right away, but to me, that's the script. 0-0 or a 1-0 Barcelona, and yeah, over on cards, like you mentioned. I think that's a solid look.
Yeah. What? I mean,
You want to go to the matches today? We got lineups for stuff.
sure. Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even really worth talking about Madrid. Their numbers are pretty ridiculous. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and talk about Arsenal Southampton if you want?
Sure. Okay, so let's jump to here, and so yeah, Arsenal back at home here after a couple road matches at Anfield and at West Ham. Two draws that at the start of the season you would have probably signed up for. You'd hopefully you can pull 3 points from West Ham, but a draw at Anfield is a great result for any club at any time. A win would be fantastic, and I think Arsenal giving up two goal leads in those matches is dominated more of the narrative than the fact that, hey, they went on the road and got a couple points. So I guess it's all in the perception of how you see those games playing out. I think Arsenal again, William Saliba getting hurt was pretty damaging to the back line. Rob Holding's done okay, but he just lacks a little bit of that top end quality. He's a great squad player, but you could see when thrust into the starting lineup, Arsenal giving up two goal leads. I think we got to really improve our game management here. So Ramsdale needs to be better commanding his box. I think Xhaka and Partey need to do better with retaining possession and sniffing out some chances. But yeah, looking at this, Southampton, perfect get right spot for Arsenal. You got the team that's the worst team in the league right now. I don't see anything other than a very one-sided Arsenal performance today. Minus 500 or worse on the the betting lines. Obviously, you don't want to just throw money line onto anything. Doesn't really give you any value. Player prop wise, let's pull this up here. So the front threes, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. Saka missed a penalty, pretty bad miss too, skied it over. So he's bounced back from spots like this before. I would like to think that this is a spot where I would back Saka. I would back the team to want to get him right. As for such a young player to have such a good outlook and mindset, it's pretty impressive. So Vieira being in midfield instead of Xhaka is kind of and it's an attacking move. With Odegaard and Vieira together, that's a lot of creativity. I do think Arsenal could run it up here. You might have value here in a first half goal, and Zinchenko comes in instead of Tierney, which just adds that a little bit more stability. To me, it's a very attacking lineup. You could play any of these guys to score. Jesus being minus 105, you could probably shop that and find a better value. But I like trying to back Saka in a bounce back spot here. Yeah, I think there's tremendous value everywhere, but I think I'm going to put out a goal ladder for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal got to get right here. They got to fill.
Mhm.
They got to run them up and fill them in. Just get a shit ton of goals. I guess. Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to play soccer, I, I, I have no problem with that. There's, exactly what Matt said. If they want to force feed him, try and get him right. I can see all that. For me, I like the price on Martinelli a little bit better. Plus 175 is a lot more appealing to me than plus 140. The whole front three could score here for Arsenal, and
Yep.
they might be able to do it in the first half. So, but these games can sometimes take time to develop. We obviously have seen Poole beat the brakes off of people, but only score once in the first half. So, for me, I'm just gonna play Martinelli at plus 175 over on your Kimby books. And then I know Sam, who's producing us today, really likes Martinelli for an assist. I think that's a pretty good look at like plus 320 something. So yeah, that's kind of all I got there. I'm probably going to target some Martinelli props.
Hmm. Yeah, Martinelli always a good look. And in terms of the front three, uh, Jesus is still the one to get the early hook for Trossard, and Martinelli and Saka are more apt to get a longer run. Now, that being said, the next match is City midweek. Obviously, probably the deciding fixture in the title race. If Arsenal lose, I would say City will go on to get the win. If Arsenal can avoid defeat, then they're right there in it with a chance to get it done. Considering City have some extra fixtures with Real Madrid and potentially Man United in FA Cup final to look forward to. So I mean, uh, yeah, this game screams get your business done, get it done early. I'm gonna, like I said, lock in this Arsenal first half team total over 1.5 plus 192, and then I'm gonna ladder that up probably to 4 goals as well. Sam, what do you think? I mean, I'm interested to see what looks you like in this game.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting to get put on the spot there, but I'll happily come in from behind the curtain.
sure.
Um, like I said, Martinelli assist, or like Oaks mentioned, Martinelli assist at plus 300. I believe the best price is on PointsBet right now. For the 5 people who aren't limited on that book. Um, he's had an assist 3 games in a row, and I think now that with Jesus back in the lineup, I still like him to score, but he's definitely taken more of a sort of a providing role. He's just set up 3 assists in a row is great, and he wasn't really putting up those sort of numbers. So for that line to still be at plus 300 in a game where our team total line is at 2.5, and we should ideally be putting up 3 or 4 goals, I'll take an assist. I'm sure he'll get involved in some way. I really like that, and I used my little my PointsBet daily boost token on a Jesus goal, Martinelli assist, and Martinelli shot on target, and with the boost that gets it to like plus 700, and all 3 of those have hit 3 games in a row.
Ooh, juicy.
But
What do
yeah,
you make of Odegaard's form? He's obviously been very influential. Been amongst the goals. To me, this is a game where I think he could really shine. Anything you like with him, or maybe Vieira being inserted into the starting lineup. He's Shaka gets forward a lot in this formation, and so Vieira is definitely a more attacking player. You mentioned Martinelli for an assist. I was thinking Vieira potentially for one too.
I was also thinking that as soon as I saw him starting, I was like, "Oh, let me go shop that around." I haven't had a chance to properly shop it, but I was on PointsBet, and PointsBet loves to hang like really nice high values on assists, and they've got him for an assist at plus 190. So I'm not very hopeful that that's going to be much better elsewhere. I'll still look at it, but if usually I can get like plus 500 or something like that on Vieira because he usually sits back, but if it's going to be at that price, I'm not so interested in it, unfortunately. But that was something I was looking at.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for jumping in, man. I didn't mean to throw you on the spot, but
No, it's okay. You know me.
I knew Arsenal looks you wouldn't have any problem.
Oh, definitely not. I think Xhaka for a shot on target, if you can get a nice price at that as well, is good. I think he scored. I think he scored in the last game that we played them in, and he has he's kind of cooled off a bit recently, but he loves to take rips. And the only downside is if Vieira is playing in that centre mid role alongside him, then maybe he'll sort of stay back and let Vieira go forward.
Yeah, it's Party with him. Yeah, so Party with Odegaard and Vieira in midfield. Well, I guess Zinchenko in midfield too, but
got it. Oh, is Xhaka not starting today? I haven't. That's interesting. Another fun look is Ben White for an assist. He's been getting forward on those right back runs, and he's like plus 650, plus 700. Also worth looking. Some nice value if you happen to get him on an overlapping run, because then all it takes is one cross in, and someone like Jesus will be on the end of that for sure.
yeah, I dig it. Thanks, brother. Oaks,
What's up?
what do you think, man?
Yeah,
You like anything that Sam said?
yeah. I mean, like I said, I locked in Martinelli at plus 175. I like that price.
Cool. Yeah, my prices here on FanDuel for the goal ladder in the first half, it's pretty damn good. And I didn't shop it around. I did it on FanDuel just so I could get the links for everybody. I may get down more money elsewhere because my limits on FanDuel are pretty bad for soccer. But first half goals over 1.5 plus 192, over 2.5 plus 770, over 3.5 long shot, of course, plus 2,900. So yeah, that's where I'm getting off the train. I'm not going to go any higher than that. But yeah, I like you mentioned something that was sneaky that I like, that all the whole front three to score today. I kind of like. I like that parlay. I may shop that around and just throw a little flutter on that. It's probably going to be gross, like plus 900 or something. Like,
Let me take a look real quick.
Yeah.
I still have the game up. So if you play, your best option is probably going to be to play on MGM or on DraftKings. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
only
your
plus
best option-
737 on FanDuel. That's pretty gross.
Yeah, your best option is going to be to play on DraftKings or MGM. So Jesus is plus 105 on MGM, even money on DraftKings. Saka is 140 on both. And Martinelli is plus 120 on DraftKings or plus 115 on MGM.
There you go, Oaks. I'm wearing them for you.
What you got?
I was turning around. I was showing you.
Oh, yeah. You got the kid on. Let's go.
Back in today.
Yeah, I see. Like, I don't know. I like that just because goal scorers definitely tends to be a little bit cleaner. I'm gonna throw some loose change on Martinelli to score and assist.
Yeah, is that what, 10-1 or so?
Probably. Let's see if it's 300 on PointsBet. I don't know if they have his goal scorer available, but yeah, that should be right around 9 to 12.
That's nasty work, but goal scorer.
I don't know. I'm looking at a price comparison tool. I'm not looking at the sports book. Especially with Brazilian players, they tend not to pop up on these line shopping things because PointsBet plays the full name. So he's not going to be listed under Martinelli. He's going to be Gabriel, all that Portuguese Martinelli.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of the downsides about line shopping tools when you start getting into Brazilian and Portuguese players because they have 6 fucking names and you'll just never find them on line shopping tools.
Yeah, the DK parlay with them, it's plus 750 as well for the front 3. God,
look under specials. You might because DK does the player specials. They sometimes throw a little extra benefit on there for the pre-built parlay.
Yeah. Well, cool. So Arsenal just clap those cheeks. Sounds like a good plan to me. You got
Yeah, I will be, since I'm the only non-Arsenal supporter on this show, I will just remind everybody Southampton beat City 2-0.
That's true. Southampton away for Arsenal through the years has always been a trap game. Where
and
on
a very
paper,
tough game.
On paper, it always was like, all right, Southampton away, like you should be. And then somehow, some way, some bullshit, some craziness happens. Yeah, Southampton's been a tricky bogey team for Arsenal, but right now, I think the gap in quality, Southampton are not as good as they've been through the years. They just can't hang on to their best players. So, but yeah, Theo Walcott's starting, so he gets to come back to the carpet and try to run at Zinchenko and Gabriel and Rob Holding. He's still fast. It wouldn't surprise me if he somehow gets at least a shot on target. If you want to prop for the Southampton way, yeah, Theo Walcott shot on target plus 120 on FanDuel. I don't think that's a bad look.
James Ward-Prowse is always good too. He takes free kicks. He's nasty.
He's 125.
Yeah, he's nasty on a free kick. So that if I was gonna back anybody on Southampton, it'd probably be JWP.
Anything for Verona and Bologna in Serie A?
Let me see. If Arnautovic is playing, then
that top for him today.
Yeah, no, I have zero interest in that game. Bologna on the road, not super great. Verona, not super great this whole season.
Right. Kevin Lasagna is playing. Everybody's favorite Italian player to talk about.
Yeah, that's the most frustrating lasagna you've ever seen.
It's got no cheese in that lasagna, man. That's like bone dry. They forgot the cheese. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's not good. Verona, like they're at home. It's hard to back them, but they are the last relegation spot. A point here doesn't disappoint them. 3 would be huge. Bologna on the road, just not super great form. I do like Barrow out there on the left. Again, this Bologna team kind of got shafted a little bit. They were getting offers on some pretty good money for Arnautovic. He wanted to stay. Bologna said, like, he's our whole team. We want him to stay. And then he got hurt shortly afterwards. He was the number 2 goal scorer in Serie A there for quite a while. He is very important to what they do. Bologna usually tend to just kind of sit back, absorb pressure, and then they go quickly on the counterattack. And without Arnautovic, they've struggled to finish.
Right, and
I do like Barrow's speed. And
they're not playing Orsolini, who I like a lot on the right side. He's a good player.
Yeah.
And Nico Sanson, and he's not playing in this. So Diego Mata, the manager, great player. I'm not sure he's a great coach.
He's just had such limited tools to work with this season. Like I'm not putting this on the manager. Like Bologna is one of those teams that's just been snake bitten since they started off really hot. And the thing with Bologna is they're very, very tough to beat at home. And as a manager, even when you're struggling and you're going through injuries like this, I think you get a lot more leeway when you continue to win games at home because you're selling out the stadium, your fans come in, they get pumped. And if you protect your home field, you get a little more leeway with ownership.
Yeah, you got anything for Stuttgart Augsburg?
I mean, fuck, Stuttgart fucking sucks, but they got a last minute miracle versus Dortmund that cost me a lot of fucking money. So I was pretty pissed about that. Augsburg's scoring at a good clip. If
Yep.
you want to take a shot on both teams to score over 2.5, I don't hate that here. I think Augsburg probably ultimately get the win at home, but I think there's a lot of goals in this one. It's just not something that super piques my interest. I don't even have a price on that, but I'm assuming it's like minus 140-ish.
So Augsburg, nice.
Okay, so now you got my interest a little bit. You give me a plus money number on two teams that have been scoring recently. Like I mentioned, Stuttgart got 3 against Dortmund. They put up 3 versus Bochum. They only put up 1, but that was the Pokal versus Nuremberg. Nuremberg's also a tough team. They got shellacked by Union Berlin. But Union Berlin is far superior to them. But yeah, I mean, they've put up 3 and 2 in their last 2 matches. Augsburg put up 2 versus RB Leipzig on the road, which is always nice. They scored 1 versus Cologne, put up 2 versus Wolfsburg in Wolfsburg. So yeah, I mean, if you like goals here at plus 100, I'd make that a play for 25 bucks.
Yeah, I think if I was going to play a goal scorer, I'd go the Swiss Vargas, Ruben Vargas. He's been in pretty good form for the home side there, Augsburg. His goal scoring price is, I'm looking at FanDuel, obviously shop it around, plus 430. Pretty juicy for an anytime goal scorer. I think he's scored in 3 of the last 4 matches, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, he's a good look if you want a potential goal scorer that's a deeper. He plays deeper on the field for them than he does for Switzerland, where he plays a little bit higher up. But guy that's in form. You know, both of our favorite team to talk about, PSG, going to Angers today. So what do you think? Obviously, minus 500, minus 600, you can't play the money line, but I did put a play out on my channel. A Messi anytime goal on Barstool is plus 110. Jeez, I mean, Messi plus 110. Like, what? Tell me that's not a good time to bet. Like, I think, I don't know. Anything you like in this? Anything you're going to touch at all?
Let me see. Probably not. Like
Yeah.
you said, like, I mean, if you like Messi, then go ahead and play it. Like, my thing is, I don't like Messi. I can't watch this game. It doesn't. PSG, it doesn't impact them even a little bit. I don't know. This one's tough. I might, the other thing is I don't have cards markets. If I had cards markets, I'd tell you to take a Sergio Ramos card. But I don't. Can you tell me what even the FanDuel prices? I know they're not usually the best on cards,
FanDuel
but
price, Ramos is plus 260. He is the short shot to get booked. Other guys that are in they don't have, mind you, they don't have Verratti today, so no Neymar as well. Those would be 2 guys that are always good looks for cards. But yeah, the way they're lining up is Mbappe and Messi up top. If you're interested in playing a parlay of them to both score, or them to double and assist, score and assist each other, that's like 14-1. Messi to score assisted by Mbappe plus 490. Mbappe to score assisted by Messi plus 230.
Those are just such trash prices, dude. Like, I get
Pretty
it.
tough.
I get it. They look like layups. And then when you hit them, you're like, oh, I'm the fucking smartest dude in the world. But then, like, when PSG loses fucking 2-0 at home and you put a shit ton of money on that because you're like, oh, it's a fucking layup, then it's not. Like, I mean, like, that's the problem with PSG is, like, you're basically banking on them to come out and win 5-1, and I never back with my money teams to come out and skull fuck other teams on the road. Like, PSG have nothing to play for. They don't care. They're going to tear this team down. Messi wants out. Mbappe, who knows what the fuck he wants to do. Neymar's injured back in Brazil. Like, this is a UCL title or bust team, because if they don't win League One, that's just fucking embarrassing. And so that's why, like, I get it. Like, there is money to be made here, and if you guys like betting on them, I'm all for it. Like, go get your bread. If I can't watch the game, then I have no interest.
So Ramos shot on target, plus 175.
I do like that. He does.
Yeah.
We know he's got a cannon, and he gets up on aerials.
Plus 185. Yeah, but you're looking at plus 175, plus 185 range for him. Marquinhos, same kind of thing, like dangerous from set pieces, same kind of price range. Hakimi is plus 120. Hakimi, provides a lot of that width in this two striker formation. He gets into the box a lot. I think that his shot on target might be a play for me.
I like that. So I like all of that stuff. So if
maybe it's like the Mbappe, you just have to set to a side unless you're going to be like, I'm going to play his goal and assist, which I think that combo is, if you're interested in it, player parlay. It's not horrible. Like, it's not good, don't get me wrong, but it's not unplayable. I had it pulled up here. I think it's like plus 500, plus 600, something like that.
See, that's better than I thought. I thought it'd be like
it's not bad.
So yeah, at that number, I have a little bit more interest.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like, I like more the stuff you were talking about, like Ramos or Hakimi to put a shot on target. I like, if I'm gonna play PSG, I play one guy to do one thing. I don't like for me, like, God bless you. If you want to play Mbappe for a brace and a hat trick, God bless you. But I'm not getting plus 180 for my money on somebody to score 2 goals. Like, I don't think people understand how fucking hard it is to get goals at any level in soccer. Like, and if you're giving me like plus 380 on a hat trick, there's no way I'm putting my hard-earned money on that.
So yeah, Mbappe for 2, plus 185.
Oh my God, I want to vomit
on the stool. Or no, plus 250 on DraftKings. To me, that's a playable range. Plus 250 for him. The goal and assist combo, it is plus 500 for Mbappe. And then for Messi, it is plus 275. I like his goal. Just at a plus money prop, like you said. Like, if I get one guy to do one thing, I think I am going to throw a bet on Hakimi shot on target, because it is over on the stool. I'm seeing it at plus 160 here. Plus 160 is nice. The Ramos one is plus 188 on the stool.
I like both of those. You're getting a pretty nice big plus number on a Andrews team that PSG should beat the brakes off of. Like,
Vitinha coming off a goal and an assist against Lens. He's kind of moving. I don't know. I mean, you can get creative. His shot on target plus 180, but they are on the road, so you have to. It's just, I hate betting on them because they don't have heart, like you said.
They have no heart. They have no motivation to play. Right. They're out of UCL. All these players got their bag. They're 15 points clear on the table. Like, these guys are mailing it in to work. I know, because I've mailed it into several jobs I've had. Like, I know exactly what's going on with these PSG
1, 2, 3
guys.
Cancun, right? Like.
Yeah, they're like, I got 190 mil and I live in fucking Paris. This is the most inconvenient part of my week, is to get on the bus and travel. Like,
which is why I kind of like betting on, at least on like Mbappe, he seems like he wants to play. Like I know
he's potentially
right.
the only guy with motivation there because he just wants to make it rain goals and assists so
Right.
that he can try and finesse his way out of that deal.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, are Madrid that good transition? Are Madrid going to come knocking? Are they going to finally put the money on the table for Mbappe this summer? What do you think?
I don't think so.
No.
That's again, he had his opportunity and he fumbled it. Madrid are I don't think we're spending big money this season. Maybe after we get rid of Hazard, but I like I want to go get Frempong. I think Frempong's a perfect guy to keep Danny Carvajal, let him play Copa games, let him play UCL games, get us Frempong for during the season. I don't hate getting Chuck Ueze, but I also don't really think we need him. I like Rodrigo. Like I really like what Rodrigo does. I'm not a big Fede Valverde guy. Or sorry, I'm a big Fede guy. I'm not a big Marco Asensio guy. I know there's rumors that he's going to get re-signed, and that's fine as long as Asensio's fine with knowing that he comes in at the 75th minute when we're up 2 or 3-0 because he can't hang on to the football. I was watching him. He's a turnover machine in the final third, and I hate it. And also, the guy's got nice shots. Watch all of his goals. They all come from outside the box. Like, I already have Fetty for dudes who jack for chicks. I need finishers in the box, and that's why I like Rodrigo, who can get up on aerials, do headers, and I just think Rodrigo's a better player. So yeah, I mean, I don't feel the need to go out and drop Mbappe money for this Madrid squad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna send out this Vargas goal scorer as the Bundesliga match is kicking off. I gotta notify this play here in my channel. I'm taking him as a live goal scorer here. 1 minute in. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you, dude. I think Madrid, they don't need him just yet, but it does feel like a move that's inevitable at some point. I just
Yeah,
maybe
I think maybe
2
after
years away.
Hazard's contract expires in 2024,
Yeah, the
that might
summer
be.
of 2024 will be the real rebuild because you'll Cruz and Modric and
It's tough to.
like
Yeah, I mean, we're still winning UCLs while we're rebuilding those. So, yeah, I'm not super worried about Madrid. I'm glad that the
Are you
Ancelotti
worried about Holland
slander.
at all? Like, what are your thoughts here? No, we have no Militao for the first leg. And just maybe, yeah, we could spend the last like couple minutes here just talking Champions League and how you think the rest of the tournament might play out.
Yeah, I mean, it's Madrid all day.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the tickets. I got them at 12-1. I got them at 10-1. I got hella Madrid tickets. I'm not worried about City. Holland doesn't fucking worry me because if you can stop service to Holland, he's useless. He's not even a threat if you can't get him the ball. That said, yeah, missing the best center back on the planet in Militao is gonna suck. But you got Rudiger, you got Nacho, you got Kamavinga, you got Danny, you got Alba. Like we got players back there. I think our midfield is fine. Modric had a off game for him. But again, like Tuch is there. Tuch is great with the ball. He laces absolute dime passes. You got Vinny on the left. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. When I bought my Madrid tickets, I go, it's just gonna suck waiting for these to cash for 8 months because that's what Madrid does. We win UCLs, we win trophies. I'm not worried. And Pep has a lot of other shit to worry about. He's got this FA Cup, which this game should be a cakewalk for him. He's got you guys on Wednesday, then he's got us, then he's got another 2 games sandwiched in between playing us again. So yeah, I think that I know Sam is listening very carefully. I know
Right.
you guys thought the schedule congestion was going to help Arsenal. I think it helps Madrid more because now they're worried about you guys since they've had a a little more of a casual time, they got to play full force to try and beat you and win the league. Because when Pep washes out of UCL again and has to hear about that, he can at least go, well, we're competing for the EPL title.
Yeah, no, I want two very physical,
Beat the brakes.
knockdown, drag out matches. I want De Bruyne and Holland and Ederson and I need everybody that's a key player on the treatment table because of just
it's going to be a black and blue match too.
Yeah, just some horrible knee on knee collisions and muscle strains, and so yeah, we need those guys out a few weeks. And I wouldn't be mad because hey, it is what it is. Yeah, that's
because then it'll help you guys if would maybe pick up some nice points on the table there. But yeah, I mean, City's in a tough predicament right now because they didn't handle their business early in the year when they should have.
Yeah, and then they still might go ahead and win a treble, but yeah, I think on the other side, obviously you're on Madrid. I think City will get past Madrid. We don't have to debate the semantics of it because
and it's it's a valid argument. Like I know I'm a fan and I'm biased.
Right.
Look behind me. There's the Madrid flag.
Right.
Like, I don't think Madrid. I'm not out here saying Madrid's gonna shit pump them 3-0.
I'm excited to bet the game because I know
you're
that
gonna get really good prices on everybody who's really good at football.
The player prop side of thing is going to be incredibly juicy. Vinny props attacking, Stones and whoever else is out there. It's fun. It's good. The Benzema goals will have good price. Holland hopefully will be in plus money on both matches and stuff. So yeah, a lot of fun. On the other side, what do you make of the Milan showdown here? Which way are you leaning?
I love that we're getting another Milan derby. I've been shit talking Inter all season, and they somehow keep grinding out results in Champions League, but look like ass in Serie A. So I don't know. For me, I just think Milan's the more complete team. They've got 7 UCL titles. I mean, they know what they're doing. I like Tremore on the back line there. I like Leao a lot better than anybody that's attacking for. I like Leao more than I like Lukaku, Dzeko, or Martinez. I like Dumfries over there for Inter, but this is going to be an Italian grind 'em out game. No home field advantage either way in either match since they share a stadium. So like that's always the other super cool and interesting storyline is like how they sell the tickets and how they fill up the stadium since they share one. And as we've talked about on Spaces, kind of all Champions League, like the San Siro is one of the toughest places to play on the planet, especially for Champions League. And it's nice it's interesting that kind of gets neutralized with them sharing the stadium. So I think this is a really cool match. Anytime you can get Italian teams to play each other 4 times in a season, it's going to be brutally chippy and physical. You're going like run it up on cards, run it up on fouls. Because these guys are going to want to beat the absolute shit out of each other. The other interesting storyline with Juve getting their points back, that knocks AC Milan out of a UCL spot right now, and it shoves Inter down to a Europa Conference League spot. So these guys are absolutely going to battle to make sure that they can try and at least get to the finals. So if they win, they can secure a UCL spot. For me, I just think AC Milan has a lot more going for them. I think they're better offensively. I think they're more locked down defensively. I think that they just have better players who are smarter about where and when they take their fouls. But it won't surprise me if both of those games end 1-1. We go to extra time. We see a PK shootout in the San Siro. But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a good game. I just wouldn't expect a lot of goals. Shots on target will probably be the market. Unders will probably be the play there, because it's two Italian clubs. Though, we did see Inter come out and score goals versus Benfica. I was a little surprised about that, but the game ended up pretty much exactly how I thought. It ended 3-3. There were a lot more goals, but it was a draw.
Yeah. Oh, Augsburg scored. Please. Let's see. Show me. Ah, dang. Okay. Yeah, I don't have it up. What's the chat say? They say, show me.
Show me the money, the Tom
Yeah.
Cruise gif.
Right. But yeah, I mean, that's probably a good spot. I got nothing else left, unless you got anything.
Yeah, I mean, we're here. We got
Mhm.
5 minutes. Let's talk about the last big game left on this sheet. It's Juve versus Napoli.
Right.
This number's weird to me. I know Juve just got a nice little advancement. They got their points back. I don't know. The fact you're hanging plus 155, plus 160 on Napoli, they're going to have Anguissa. They're going to have Kim. Oshiman's back. He scored the goal. I thought it was super bogus of CBS to be talking like fucking, like they're in Discord chat. Like, oh, this game's over. We're going to cut to commercial and we'll come back and have post-game coverage right as Oshiman drills a filthy fucking header. So, yeah, I was a little...
That was a nice...
That was a nice consolation.
Man, yeah, and I thought I had put that play in my channel. Obviously, I did not, and I was bummed because I was like, yes.
Did you play him to score a headed goal?
I had a headed shot on target. I didn't have a headed goal. I just played his normal goal.
Yeah.
I ended up winning like 6 units on that goal right there, and I was just like celebrating to myself. I couldn't high five anybody because I was like, oh man, I didn't put it in. But I mean, shit, you know how it is on Champions League days and stuff. It sometimes gets a little crazy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Cause like, that's the thing is, when we're doing the spaces and stuff like that, sometimes I'll be sitting there thinking and I'll see him walk onto the field and like sometimes it's like, yo, either the little kids like looking up at him like, yo, you're my hero, you better score a fucking goal, or he's got that killer look in his eye and like 2 minutes before kick I'm like, yo, I gotta put something on this.
Yeah. Speaking of something I just locked in, I'm about to put it in my channel too. I'm gonna play an Odegaard goal and an assist at 14-1. I think
that's a really nice price.
Yeah, the odds are longer. It's plus 550 elsewhere. He hasn't done it in a while, but something tells me that this is a game where Arsenal want to really put their foot down on this team. And yeah, I 14-1, man. I like that a lot. I'm shopping it around. It's the best price I can find anywhere else. And again, I haven't looked at PointsBet, but 14-1 is enough for me to take a shot on it because, yeah, I think they're really gonna work Southampton today. So I'm excited to crack it is Miller time, it looks like.
Yeah, it's getting close.
I'm looking at my watch. It's Miller time right now.
That's right. So yeah, I'm excited to watch these games. I'm probably going to be locked into Espanyol Cadiz a little bit more just because I got a little more action on that, and I tend to like the Spanish football a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely have the EPL game on as well since we got some action on Martinelli. And yeah, I hope you hit all your plays. Like obviously, that first half goals ladder, very nice price. So I hope you guys run their pockets here because I want you to give City the best match possible. I want the black and blue out of you guys too. Like we're all kind of sitting here hoping like, yo, let's just everybody just fuck City up.
Right. And the problem is then they have World Cup stars to come in off their bench like Alvarez and freaking I mean, it's crazy their depth. Like it is something else, and like I don't know the whole way they do their
Yeah, I
bookkeeping is
mean,
pretty impressive.
you can
But
do that when you cheat.
yeah, like signing Holland for 50 million or something like that. It's like, yeah, right, dude. Like we're not stupid.
Right.
That
Yeah.
wasn't a free market deal right there. Like, but yeah, I mean, well, yeah. Good luck, Oaks, man. I'll keep an eye on your channel, see what else you put out for today or tomorrow, and good luck, man.
Appreciate it, man. Have a
Yep.
great day. Let's go. Come on, you Gunners.
Yes, come
Let's
on,
get this.
Martinelli, get on the score
He's
sheet
got the
for you.
Martinelli kit on. You know he's feeling it.
Let's do it.
Before we jet, shout out to our sponsors, Gold Boys, Picket, Boom. They're all great. Go check them out. I'm Burroaks. That's McAfee. Thank you to Sam, FIFA Brit, our producer. We out.